Hello everyone and welcome back again all of you in the session Introduction to Java Servlet. So first let us take a look to the topics covered in the last session. So in the last session you have learned about how to create Hello World program using generic servlet class. So in the last session you have done this. Now in this current session you will learn about how to write the same program using HttpServlet class, because in the last session I have explained to you we have the two techniques or two methods to create the Hello World program in Servlet. First one was generic servlet class and second one is HttpServlet class. So generic servlet class we have discussed in the last session. Now in this session you will learn about what is HttpServlet class and how to create Hello World program using this class. So let me understand the method 2, how this method will work to create the first program or first program using HttpServlet class. This is what method 2. Now let me understand what is HttpServlet class. HttpServlet class is defined in JavaX.Servlet package. If you compare with generic servlet class was defined in JavaX.Servlet package, but HttpServlet class is defined in JavaX.Servlet.http package. So HttpServlet class is the subclass of generic servlet class, or HttpServlet class extends the generic servlet class and implements the serializable interface. And HttpServlet class is protocol dependent. It means it is not a type of generic. It means HTTP cannot handle any type of request. It is used to handle only HTTP requests. That's why it is what? Protocol dependence. And if we are talking about protocol dependence, it means we are just concerned in our mind about HTTP protocols. So HTTP protocol is used to handle the HTTP request only. And you can see, so to handle HTTP request, HttpServlet provides some specific methods like doGet method, doPost method and doHead method, and it also have many other methods. So that is all about the HttpServlet class. So HttpServlet class is a protocol dependent and it is used to handle only HTTP request. On the other way, if we talk about generic servlet class can handle any type of request and is not protocol dependent. So let me understand how servlet or how HttpServlet class works. So you can see with the help of this diagram, as you can see in the diagram, the client make a request and these requests can be handled by, or you can see these requests may be any get request or the post request. So you can see here servlet dispatches these requests to the servlet service method. This method dispatch these requests to the correct handler. For example, if it receives the get request, it dispatches it to the doGet method, or if it receives the post request, it dispatches it to the doPost method. You can see here the service method will do everything. This is the job of the service method. Service method dispatches these requests to the correct handler. Like for the do get method or for the do post method. So this is the working process of HTTP servlet class. So let me understand the servlet class hierarchy. So this is hierarchy we have discussed also in the last session. So again I am explaining to you, every class must implement the servlet interface. Each and every class in servlet must implement the servlet interface. And you can see on the right hand side the class hierarchy for the servlets. This is what user defined class, and this may be named first HTTP demo. So I told you every class in servlet will extend either HTTP servlet class or generic servlet class. So if you are creating the program using HTTP servlet class, so user defined class will extend HTTP servlet class, and HTTP servlet class is the subclass of generic servlet class, and generic servlet class will implement all the, or you can see implements the servlet interface. So let me understand how to create the hello world program using HTTP servlet class. So you can see this is the program, how to create or how to use HTTP servlet class to create hello world program. So let me see with the help of example in Eclipse. So you will open the Eclipse. So I have already created the project's live classes, and I have already created one package com.live classes. We have done this program in the last session. So you can see here, so just I am right click on this package, click on class, you can write here first HTTP servlet. This is what first HTTP servlet, click on finish, and I have already created this program. So what we have to do here, we need to copy this program here and I will paste here. So I am just making some changes here. Import javex dot servlet dot http, and here you will use http servlet, and here you will use http, and this is what http. So you can see here we have did some change here, HTTP servlet. So this is the hello world program using HTTP servlet class. So in this is same as like you need to import java.io package for doing some input output operations. You need to import javex.servlet package. This package define the servlet interface, and that servlet interface define the lifecycle methods of the servlet. After this, if you are creating or if you are using HTTP servlet class, you need to import one more package, import javex.servlet.http package. This package is used to handle the HTTP request. So you need to import this package. It has all the APIs regarding the HTTP request and response. After this, you will write public class, and this is what class name, and every class will extend HTTP servlet class. So you can use HTTP servlet or you can use generic servlet class here. After this, you have public void service method. So when you will use HTTP servlet class, you will use here what? HTTP methods. HTTP method like do get or do post. You can use any of the method here. So you will use here public void doGet method. So unlike generic servlet class, the HTTP servlet does not override service method. Instead, it overrides one or more of the methods, that is doGet method or doPost method. Any method it will define. So here I am writing public void doGet, and this method takes two parameters. First one is HTTP servlet request and second one HTTP servlet response interface. So it is just like the first program we have done using generic servlet class. So the first parameter can be either of servlet request or its sub interface HTTP servlet request. So the first parameter can be either of servlet request or its sub interface HTTP servlet request, and we will use servlet request as parameters when we extend generic servlet class, and we use HTTP servlet request when HTTP servlet class is extended. So here we are using what? HTTP servlet. So you will use what? HTTP servlet request. So this request object of HTTP servlet request receives data sent by client. From this object, the servlet programmer can extract the data and can use for validation or other purpose. So now come to the second parameter. This is what? HTTP servlet response, and object is what? Response. So the second parameter can be either of servlet response or its sub interface HTTP servlet response. We use servlet response as parameter when we extend generic servlet class, and HTTP servlet response when we use HTTP servlet class. So here we are using what? HTTP servlet class. So you need to use HTTP servlet response interface. So the responsibility of the data to be sent to the client is taken care by HTTP servlet response interface only. So the programmer job is simply to pass the response message to HTTP servlet response, and actual sending is taken care by the container. The actual sending is taken care by the container, means servlet container. So that is all about the doGet method. Now come to the next one, set content type. So I have already discussed this method, set content type method, or you can see the content type is also known as MIME type. MIME is what? Multi-purpose internet mail extension type. It is the type of the data being sent by the server to the client. Or the set content type method is used to set the content type of the response being sent to the client if the response has not been committed yet. So, and the response, or you can say the HTTP servlet response interface defines this method set content type, and this method does not have any return type. It means it has a void return type. So you will use what? Response dot set content type, and it takes a string parameter, and a string parameter name is what? Text/html. So this is what? The type or content type of the response that is being sent to the client. So you are using here text/html, and it may be any other thing. I will discuss when I will run this program. So here text is what? Known as the type, and HTML is known as what? Subtype. Now we have list of content type, like text/html is the most commonly used type. We have text/plain, we have application/MS Word, we have application/PDF, And we have many more. I will talk about these later. Next, you have print writer out is equal to response dot get writer. So we have a method get writer in HTTP servlet response. So this method is called with the help of the object of HTTP servlet response. So you will use response dot get writer, and get writer method return into the object of print writer. So here we are just printing a string. This is what generic servlet. So we can change this HTTP servlet example and hello world greeting from the India. So this is the simple program of hello world using HTTP servlet class. So I have explained all the lines in the program one by one. So I have just took more time to explain each line because that is the first program or hello world program using extending the HTTP servlet class. So this is the step 1, how to create a class. Now come to the step 2. I will open web.xml file. So I have already explained you we need to create the mapping for each and every servlet file, and this is what is the name of this first HTTP servlet. So you will come here and you will do here, this is the name of servlet, this is the actual class name, this is again name, and this is what URL pattern. So I suggest you use the same servlet file name as servlet name, class name, and URL name, because if you will do some different, you need to remember what was the URL name, right? So that is the entry for this servlet file. You will save this file, Control S, and it will take some 20 or 30 seconds to save this web.xml file. So now I will run this program after saving web.xml file. So now you can see here, not this one, first HTTP servlet, this one. So right click, run as, run on server, you will save it, click on next. You will, now you need to remember you have to select live classes. This is what package, this is project name. Always you need to restart server, click on OK. So now you will see the output of this program, and output is HTTP servlet example hello world greeting from India, and this is what URL name. So I will just want to tell you we can use different thing here. Text less plain, here you can write text less plain. It means it will not print on HTML format. It will print on simple text and simple plain format. You can see it will not understand the HTML. So you will click on OK. Now you can see what is the output. Now you can see the output here. You can see the output is just like the plain text, and you have written what h1 tag. This is h1 tag for HTML for heading 1. So now you are, because you have set the response content type is what, text less plain. So it is in the form of simple plain, it is not in the form of HTML. So if you will use something different like application slash ms word, if you will write here application slash ms word, so you can see, run this file and see what is the output. Click on the next, select live classes, finish, and this one. Now you can see the output will be in the form of Microsoft Word format. Now you will see the response in the form of Microsoft Word format. As you can see, this is what Word file. So when you click on OK, you will open this Word file and response will be written here. Response will be, you can see now, response will be written in Word file. So you can use anything here. If you can use here PDF. If you will use PDF, the response will be displayed in the PDF format. So that is all about the second program, means hello world program using HttpServlet. So that is the output of this program, and this is all about this session. So we have done this. That was the basic program of Servlet, and this is very important. So in the next class or in the next session, I will talk about creating multiple program in a projects, or you can say how to connect the Servlet program with HTML file. Means in the next class you will learn or you will understand how to create HTML file and how to connect HTML file with Servlet. So thank you for watching this session. Have a good day.